This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne.
Also being heard on translator K266CC Cheyenne at 101.1 FM.
What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local, it's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
And good afternoon, Wyoming Sports Talk Today being brought to you by some wonderful sponsors. Marv's Plumbing and Heating at 1515 Logan Avenue. Also, Mondello's Pizzeria at 1507 Stillwater Avenue. Suite D in the Greenway Commons for the best paisan cuisine around. Locally owned, locally operated, everything freshly made at Mondello's Pizzeria. First Tier Bank directly across the street at 1508 Stillwater Avenue. And again, you can talk to them about their special CD rates with great annual percentage yields. Lennox Auto Body ×2, the Auto Body and Truck Repair Center over on Don Avenue, and the Auto Glass and Detail Center can be found on Pershing Boulevard. Medicap Pharmacy for all your pharmaceutical needs over on Bluegrass Circle. Same location as always, next door to Texas Roadhouse. Platte Valley Bank ×2, banking done with you in mind. Customer service #1, always with Platte Valley Bank over on Vanda High and on the east side at the corner of College and Pershing. Key of Cheyenne, 18s, adios, gotta go. That means some sensational packages are being put together by AJ and the crew over there. 19s are arriving, and you might want to maybe sit your fanny down in a 2019 Kia and take it home. It's up to you. Key of Cheyenne on Nation Way. Chick-fil-A at the corner of Windmill and Del Range, right across from Menards, Ray and Cindy's place, where they serve up 3 squares for you Monday through Saturday. Right now, great day to try that chicken tortilla soup and wash it down with their peppermint chocolate chip milkshake. Oh, so good. Chick-fil-A here in Cheyenne at the corner of Windmill and Del Range. Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service, again, where you're going to find a hail of a sale going on, and just in time for the holidays, too, especially on Jayco RVs, fifth wheels, and travel trailers. You'd think the price is already low. Well, they're even lower when you shop over at Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service on Highway 30. And last but not least, we thank our good friends over at Taco John's. Nachos Navidad time, or maybe put a gift card in the stocking this year. All kinds of eats and treats at Taco John's of Cheyenne. And we get things underway with our scoreboard. It's brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne. We go to the Nexter. What's up?
Like you deserve anything in your stocking this season. Anyways, though, do want to remind folks coming up tomorrow, as we won't have a show, but instead we will have LCCC men's and women's basketball action, as we will be in North Platte Community College, at least taking on seeing those Knights of North Platte. LCCC women up first. That game will get underway at 4:30, so about 4:10 pregame show here on 1480 KRAE, 101.1 FM, 1480KRAE.com, and video live streaming as always on Periscope and the 1480 KRAE YouTube channel. So women up first, men up second, coming up tomorrow. Also, to do what? You have something to say?
Oh, no, I'm going to drill you on when you get done.
Whatever. Anyways, also, too, want to remind folks coming up this weekend on the road, the Cheyenne Stampede will be, as it will be in Ogden, Utah, taking on the Ogden Mustangs for a 3-game series. So check that out. Tune in. They do have online broadcasts as well, too. So Cheyenne Stampede also in action this weekend. NHL action for tonight. Detroit Red Wings, they'll be in Toronto taking on the Maple Leafs. Florida Panthers hosting the Colorado Avalanche at BP&T Center. Philadelphia Flyers at home hosting the Columbus Blue Jackets. New York Islanders traveling to Pittsburgh to take on the Penguins. Ottawa Senators at Canadian Tire Center hosting the Montreal Canadiens. Boston Bruins and Tampa Bay playing the Lightning. Minnesota Wild on the road, they'll be in Calgary taking on the Flames. Arizona Coyotes in the desert hosting the Washington Capitals. Nashville Preds and Vancouver taking on the Canucks at Rogers Arena. Vegas Golden Knights on the Strip at T-Mobile Arena taking on the Chicago Blackhawks tonight. And last but not least, the New Jersey Devils travel all the way out west to see the LA Kings at Staples Center. This is what's happening in NHL action for tonight.
What? Yeah, you chapping on me already. I like it.
So what?
I remember the one year, I got to say this, and your mother will agree with me. Somebody gave me some Wyoming coal.
All right.
So we put it in your stocking.
All right.
Never seen a guy cry so much when he pulled that coal out of his stocking.
I was 4 or 5 at the time.
Don't matter. Big baby.
Wow. Yeah. You're
a big baby.
You really got me as a young kid.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, that's why how you are today. You're not all there.
Yeah. And karma kind of kicked you in the face, didn't it?
No, not karma, cancer.
Anyway, let's go to the National Football League. Thursday Night Football tonight in Nashville, Tennessee.
Or is it in Memphis, Tennessee? It's Nashville, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Tennessee Titans.
All Memphis has is the Grizzlies.
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah, I know they got the Memphis Tigers, University of Memphis.
Who cares?
Anyway, Tennessee Titans hosting the Jacksonville Jaguars. That ought to be an exciting game. I think I'll do laundry. Let's see what's going on. The NBA scoreboard for tonight, it will be the Knicks and the Celtics. That is a renewal of an old rivalry, but the Knicks are not that good. That'll be in the TD Garden. Sons of the Trailblazers in the Moda Center tonight, and at the Vivint Smart Home Arena in Salt Lake City. The Utah Jazz will play host to the Houston Rockets. Our scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
Yo, this is your cup holder talking. You know me, the little round thing between.
More on the new 2019 Kia Forte. Compare Forte to Cruze, Corolla, or Jetta and see that the Kia Forte offers you even more for less money. Come by or go to KiaofCheyenne.com and we'll make it easy.
Taco John's presents Olay the Day Pep Talks.
All right, good half of football, boys. Now, good is good, but we can always be better. Look at Taco John's. They took those tasty little potato lays and loaded them up with bacon and ranch and all kinds of good stuff. They made something good even better.
Taco John's new loaded potato olays are loaded with craveable toppings for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and even dessert.
So olay the day, boys, and play like you're making loaded potato lays.
Olay the Day at Taco John's.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be cloudy with highs around 20. Then for tonight, it'll be partly cloudy with lows around 13. On Friday, it'll be partly sunny with highs around 32. And on Friday night, it'll be partly cloudy with lows around 16.
You're listening to Cheyenne's new Sports Talk Authority. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today on AM 1480 KRAE.
Thursday afternoon, Wyoming Sports Talk Today. We're going to go right to the telephone and talk to our first guest. I feel like we're going to be doing a pregame show with him right now since he's got a game coming up in a little bit against the Wolves of Green River. And first out of the box and out of the blocks is the South High Fighting Bison, and the Lady Bison also going to be in action here. I think they're up in Casper.
Yeah, they'll be playing at Kelly Walsh tonight.
And, of course, the South High Fighting Bison, they're in Riverton. And up first for the Fighting Bison, as I mentioned, will be the Green River Wolves. We're going to talk with new head coach at South High, Jeff Bailey, of course, who made the move over from Cheyenne East last season. Coach, thanks for joining us, and we get a chance for you to preview your 2018-2019 South High Fighting Bison.
Yeah, hi guys. I'm looking forward to playing our first game. It's coming up, like you said, very soon here.
You know, you don't really have a lot of practice time now. Jeff, you know, as a player and as a coach, you got together right around after Thanksgiving, so you've had some time to get together with the guys and get ready. But I would think after, you know, numerous practices, guys are ready to play some hoops.
Absolutely. They actually did give us some extra practices this year, which was really nice. There was a stint there where we were not able to get together until after Thanksgiving, but the rules committee got together and decided they would give us at least 3 days before Thanksgiving. So we actually have practiced a little bit more this year, and yeah, we're certainly ready to stop beating up on each other and to see how we match up against someone else.
Let's preview your team. I know, and of course, in the high school ranks, you always lose some great seniors, and Coach Schaefer last year graduated some pretty decent seniors. So let's talk about your team and guys that we should be looking out for.
Yeah, well, we bring back a couple of really good guards in my mind. I always hated to face these two on the other side, and so it's nice to have them now on my side. But Caleb Phillips is going to be a senior, and he's got a lot of experience, and he's certainly played in some big varsity games now for many years. Cameron Bird is a junior and a returning starter who I think has just done a lot of great things over the course of his time at South, and I think he's only going to continue to get better, you know, this year and going into next year. He's a very athletic kid, shoots the ball well. He's a great defender, so we're looking to get a lot of good things out of him. And then, as you mentioned, we did lose a lot of seniors from the previous year, and so we'll have some younger kids, too, that get some early opportunities this year. And, you know, it certainly could be difficult for them to start, but we've got a transfer in Christian Michelson from East that I think is going to be a very good basketball player. Cade Burns, who is actually the quarterback there at South, tall, athletic. I think he's a great basketball player with a great future as well. A few other sophomores that you'll probably see get some early opportunities, and so we've got some juniors as well that we'll kind of mix in that I think will be serviceable and provide some good role minutes for us. But I think it's a good mix of you know, some experienced kids and some younger kids, and we're certainly trying to build for the future starting now.
That youth does get reflected, though, at least in the preseason polls by media and coaches throughout Class 4A, as Cheyenne South is at least not kind of recognized compared to the other two local teams of East and Cheyenne Central. Now, as we asked Tag, as we asked Rusty, we'll ask you, Jeff, on kind of the preseason polls. Is it something where you're not ranked, you're not kind of looked at a class, at least across Class 4A? Is that something to kind of fuel the fire to your young men out there on the floor to kind of surprise an East, surprise a Central, surprise Laramie? You have that kind of fuel of, hey, we're not getting the respect. Let's prove them that we deserve some respect.
Absolutely. I think, you know, honestly, that's the best position that you can be in. And we certainly talk to our guys about that. I think they can go into the season feeling really no pressure at all, because when the expectation is so low, I think you're able to relax a little bit and go out there and just know that you can battle as hard as you need to and sort of let the chips fall where they may. But you'd also like to think that our kids are going to play with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder, and I'm certainly a competitive guy myself, so I think we'll certainly use all of those things to our advantage, and it should be a fun and competitive year.
You know, one of the things with Nick mentioning about South not getting any of the love, so to speak, but you telling us some of the players that you have, you know, ready to jump on the floor with you, it's not like you're going to be the smallest team in the league. You got some size that can match up with most teams here, and you'll get a good acid test up in Riverton over the next 3 days. But again, the kids you put on the floor, they're going to match up size-wise fairly well.
Yeah, actually, I've had a lot of teams in the past at East High School that weren't very big. There's some years where we had very little size, and I actually feel like with this team, even though we're going to be extremely young for the most part, Kate Burns is pushing 6'6". Caleb's probably 6'2". Christian Michelson's around the 6'2", 6'3" mark. We've got some other kids that are above 6. So I do feel like we have some height, and hopefully that will help us to be able to match up with teams across the state. And I think it certainly can help defensively, and that's an area that we've certainly been focusing on a lot as well.
You mentioned the name Cameron Bird, and I saw him a couple times last year, and again as a sophomore. I think this kid brings a lot to the table, and not to pad the stats already, but this kid's got an all-state future in him.
Absolutely, he was one of the kids I was telling Jim early last year that really just impressed me. I think he's got a great IQ for a young kid for the game of basketball. He actually hit a shot against my team at East that essentially buried us the first game, and I thought, gosh, what presence and just courage for a young kid to be able to take that shot in a crucial situation. Ended up being a game-winning shot, but as I mentioned before, he's also a very good defender. I think he led South in steals last year with almost 3 a game. So he's got quick hands, and he understands the importance of guarding as well, which is very important to us, because that's always a big focus of mine and my staff in terms of guarding and that style of basketball.
For you, Coach, I'm going to ask you a kind of knock-on-wood question here for you, but as we've learned, at least a few teams around the state, some teams are dealing with some injuries that they're hoping to get some key players into their lineup throughout the season. But kind of give us the health update for the Cheyenne South Fighting Bison.
Yeah, we've been hit pretty hard. We've got Cameron is actually, speaking of Cameron, he's not going to be able to play this weekend. He had suffered a fracture in the wrist area, and actually not the wrist. I think it's the knuckle area, and it's an area that they can't do much with, but it's going to heal up fast, and I think he actually could be ready to go as early as next weekend. Caleb is another one who hurt his leg in practice a few days ago. He's not going to be able to go right away, but we're going to see if he'll be ready to go tomorrow and Saturday. Christian McDonald is another kid who hurt an ankle. So we're dealing with our share of early injuries as well. But I try and look at the bright side with these situations. I think it gives a lot of these younger kids opportunities to jump in and see what they can do. And I think it only makes them that much better when some of these other kids are ready to go and return.
The preseason always is a great time from a coaching standpoint to look what you have, work various combinations in. So in this tournament, and again, like you said, you're missing one key element, and possibly you might rest another one. But the point is, what are you looking for in this opening tournament at Riverton? Again, you have the likes of Green River, you got K-Dub, even the Star Valley Braves. So two opponents that are pretty well known, but to a certain degree, Star Valley always brings a good basketball team to the table each and every year.
Absolutely. 3 quality opponents. It's a good early test for us, and I think the main thing that you hope to see as a coach in this first tournament is that the kids are, they've taken in instruction from the first couple weeks of practices. They're doing their best to implement the things that you've worked on, and that they compete. I mean, that to me is the most important thing. Are we competing? Are we doing the extra things that it takes to win a ball game, diving on the floor, making the extra pass, rebounding. Those are the things that I'm going to be really focused on. And it's hard to say where you're at until you have this opening weekend. So the main idea is to, like I said, throw these kids out here, get a sense of where we're at, and then it gives you a lot of things to think about and to practice plan for the following week.
Well, Coach, we need to let you go because I know you got preparation to get ready for. Again, good luck against the Wolves this evening, and good luck this season to the Cheyenne South Fighting Bison. Of course, you will be on our radar throughout the course of the year, broadcast-wise as well. Looking forward to chatting with you from time to time.
Larry, thank you, and Nick, thanks as well.
All right, good luck to you tonight. Jeff Bailey, head coach of the South High Fighting Bison, joining us here on 1480 KRAE, and we could have probably chatted with him about 5-6 more minutes, but hey, he's got to get the game plan ready for this evening, so we'll respect that and we'll let him do his thing. We're going to take a timeout. We got a busy show today, by the way. Next hour, especially, we get more coaches in here. We get the ladies coach from LCCC, Lady Golden Eagles head coach Brian Ortmeier, who will be bringing in Jakia Wells.
There you go.
The freshman from Mesquite, Texas, and then we'll have Stephane Manzi coming in, who is from Rwanda. But
first time, yeah. We didn't get to speak to him last season, so we are able to this time around, so kind of pick his brain as well.
Yeah, and you mentioned that he's been hanging around the States here for a few years now. So
he's had some accolades. I think he was All-State in Idaho. So.
Yeah, so we'll have a chance to chat with him and head coach Jason Ficca. And, of course, then we will be popping on the road tomorrow morning and going east again, North Platte, and then to McCook. So we got a lot of basketball coming up here. We're going to take a break for some hoops, I guess, because we got football picks coming up and anything else that you like. Well, we know a couple of things going on.
Baseball?
Baseball has been pretty busy. So we will have all of that coming up for you. Let's take a time out. We're back with more on 1480 KRAE.
When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage, and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner.
Due to our stormy season this summer, Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service is offering you a hail of a deal on a wide variety of travel trailers, including toy haulers. Get up to an additional 50% off MSRP on Jolly Rogers' already low prices. Check out their new and used inventory. Damaged or not, you can still travel in style. Call Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service today, your exclusive Jayco dealer at 634-8457. See them at 6102 U.S. Highway 30 or go to JollyRogersRV.com.
Cheyenne Urological has been the cornerstone of urinary care to Cheyenne and its surrounding communities for over 20 years, with doctors Bryant, Everett, Gajewski, and their highly trained staff providing top-quality treatment for prostate cancer, urinary tract infections, kidney stones, impotence, and incontinence. Cheyenne Urological is now offering cutting-edge robotic surgery. So call Cheyenne Urological at 635-4131 for compassionate, expert urinary care. That's 635-4131.
It's the big pre-Christmas event happening this Saturday at family-owned and operated Riverbend Nursery and Stone Company. You're invited to join them for their holiday open house all day. Santa will be there taking pictures with all the youngsters from 1 until 3, and photographs will be free from Ideal Photography. Bee's Baked Goods will have pastries, coffee, hot chocolate, and hot cider. Call today and reserve your spot for Totally Reeves. The adult crafting class, call 638-0147. And remember to get your fresh Christmas tree inside, out of the cold. Plus, you'll find all kinds of goodies, including fresh poinsettias. And for that hard-to-shop-for person, a Riverbend gift certificate is a perfect gift or stocking stuffer. Don't miss Riverbend Nursery and Stone Company's Holiday Open House this Saturday, December 8th on North Yellowstone Road in Cheyenne. Open 7 days a week during the Christmas shopping season.
When it comes to sports talk in Cheyenne, it's a whole new ball game.
Let's play ball!
You're listening to Wyoming Sports Talk today, and it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
We're back on Wyoming Sports Talk today. Well, of course, it's the off season for baseball, and at the end of November, the free agents were able to start doing their negotiating thing. Trades are going to be made. The winter meetings haven't even happened, but a big one yesterday. And I think, Nick, and we don't need to play rocket scientry with our audience as well. Obviously, the Arizona Diamondbacks are looking to regroup, rebuild, because the trade yesterday with St. Louis won't be the only one. And they're trying to dump a lot of money right now because,
well, all indications is, again, you already got rid of Corbin. You already got rid of Goldschmidt. Next is going to be Greinke. Who else is going to leave that Diamondbacks team? We do not know. But, yeah, Arizona, for all intents and purposes, they're pulling San Francisco Giants, or at least on par of the NL West of, hey, we need to start unloading, at least start to kind of build up, get more pieces in our farm systems, which both San Fran and Arizona have kind of left depleted.
Yeah.
And again, trying to, it makes sense for Arizona. It makes sense for Giants where, hey, you're looking up right now up top, the Rockies who have kind of built up and they got something going on right now. LA Dodgers, obviously the top dog in the NL West, probably will for this upcoming season. So, hey, what is these big names that we have, especially for the Diamondbacks, Goldschmidt, Greinke, hey, it's done us this much. It's gotten us that close, at least wild card. Still have yet to get the NL West title. But also, too, again, you're trying to get into the World Series, back to a championship there for the Diamondbacks. Hey, these big names we brought in, they haven't done it for us. All right, it's time to kind of switch things up at this point. I don't blame Arizona.
Well, they didn't get to the playoffs last year, so
that's what I'm saying. It's like the experiment hasn't worked.
Yeah, you got there the year before, and you were gone after the NLDS. Yeah. I mean, it was that quick. You were in, you were out, and no different than the Rockies. But you made a very good point, and I think it's a point that's well taken. The Dodgers and the Rocks have done a lot through the farm, and also they've done free agent moves.
Yeah.
Maybe the Rockies haven't made the greatest free agent moves as far as their
stunning compared to the
bullpen.
I'm just, even for the Rockies, though, they haven't done anything blockbuster. At least trading free agency compared to Giants, compared to Dodgers.
But the Dodgers, though, all they did was get a higher gun. Machado's not going to come back. You know that.
I get that, but you still got that piece. Colorado, though, the Rockies, it's kind of with the Nuggets in NBA free agency where it's not really an attractive place to go play at least with your career. I don't think Machado, if it were, hey, I got to choose between the Dodgers or the Rockies, I don't think 100 times if you took that scenario that he's any chance in favorability of going to the Colorado Rockies.
Oh, no, and you would want to go to – the glamour, which is Los Angeles. See, I think Machado might have hinged on staying, but also, too, then you look at Clayton Kershaw, who's staying, and he's going to get paid a bunch of money.
And no surprise.
And Machado wants a bunch of money. And I don't know, again.
The Dodgers can afford it.
Yeah, the Dodgers can, and they don't mind paying the luxury tax. But also, too, Machado is not the superstar on the team. The superstar of the team is Josh Turner.
He's more of a head case than anything.
Yeah,
we saw that in the playoffs.
And again, the younger guys, the Ballingers of the world, you saw the Max Muncies come to the forefront. You got Taylor. These are all up-and-coming stars, and Turner already has established himself as a superstar. So Manny Machado is not the top dog. And now if he decides to fly to Philly, which I think he's going to sign with Philly. They're going to offer him a pile of cash. He is going to be, along with Arrieta, the top two dogs. Arrieta's going to be the pitching stud. He's going to be the offensive and defensive guy.
I would even back up, and there is no real guarantee with Philadelphia, especially where Braves are trying to annex anything that the Philadelphia Phillies do right now, especially what the Braves have done over this quick little off season so far, and they're no indications that it looks like Atlanta's slowing down any time of picking up big names, but and also too, you can't disrespect what the Nationals did as well. They did.
Yeah, you get Corbin, but you also lose Harper. So they've lost Harper. I don't think he's going.
Maybe that was the move, and I told you this when they got Patrick Corbin. That's a move to say, hey, we're trying to work on this team, Bryce. Please come back. We're trying to address those needs to get back.
We give you three quality starters now.
And I was really surprised last year that they unloaded Gio Gonzalez, because Gio, who came up with the athletics and then went to Washington, he's a good 6-7 inning guy.
He's slowing down, though. You can tell he is not what he was in Oakland or his early years with the Nationals. He has kind of been that pitcher.
But the Nationals now
having issues.
The Nationals have a 1-2-3 pop in their pitching rotation.
Like I said, is that something that kind of courts where Bryce Harper is beloved in the nation's capital? He is beloved by those National fans. Is it something, at least with that move and potentially other moves that the Nationals could do, is that something that kind of says, hey, Bryce, look, we're trying to help you out here. Look what we just signed. Come on back to the Nationals. So there's no guarantee that he does not return to Washington. I think Washington right now is trying to help their case of saying, we're not cashing in next season. It's not rebuild for us. No, we still want to fight and contend with Atlanta. We want to contend with Philadelphia. So we'll see.
Also in the news, too, and we'll get to the Goldschmidt trade, the Boston Red Sox have re-signed Nathan Eovaldi, who came to the Red Sox after being acquired from Tampa Bay on July 25th of this year. And Eovaldi went 3-3 with a 3.33 earned run average, but was sensational during the World Series. And this is whether you like Boston or not, they're trying to keep all the pieces together.
And why not?
And they've got the cash as well. So don't look for a lot of movement with the Boston Red Sox this year, or not so much.
If anything, they would add instead of subtract.
Yeah, they're going to add, but they're going to be one of the more quiet teams, and those that are free agents, in that upper tier of the free agency, they're going to do everything in their power to keep them. Yeah. And like you said, maybe at the winter meetings, somebody becomes available, they're going to be on them.
Well, we'll see. It's Boston, they should stand pat. You would think the Yankees are going to be a little aggressive out there trying to upend the Boston Red Sox.
Yankees are always aggressive.
Well, I get that, but I'm just saying, if they're going to be, that's a team that you always have to keep an eye on out there. We'll see what happens. Baltimore, they're pretty much down and depleted, but do they have more pieces to unload? Absolutely. We'll see what they do down there. Tampa Bay kind of has a San Diego Padres kind of feeling out here with the NL West of they may do something, they may not. It's a team that really doesn't seem like it's going to do a whole lot. So, and then you look at the Toronto Blue Jays. I don't know what to make of the Blue Jays at this point in time. Blue Jays.
They're going to fire Seth. There's probably about 5 teams, Nick, that are just going to basically just rebuild from the ground up. And again, look at St. Louis. St. Louis says, you know what? We need to win now. We had an off year, and we owe it to our fans every year to be in the hunt.
I don't think it was they need to win now. Again, a Cardinals franchise that has been successful in recent years. Let's not forget that. They've won a few World Series titles, but I think the move that they did with getting Goldschmidt, though, it adds to saying, hey, we need to get back and be competitive in the NL Central. That's going to be very tough coming up with Chicago, with Milwaukee as well. Who knows what happens? Cincinnati, could they sneak up and surprise? No, it's a young team.
And they're still rebuilding, absolutely.
Yeah, but right now it's just taking a look at, I think with the Goldschmidt move for St. Louis, it's smart for them. It's just that added bat to help them try to upend Milwaukee, try to upend Chicago.
Yeah. Again, you look at that division, and, Milwaukee was more of the pitching surprise than anything last year. So are they going?
Not with the names that they've had, though.
Well, I'm just saying, though, they especially what they did in the postseason, their pitching was pretty doggone good. So Craig Counsell, when he brings them out to Arizona this year, right away they're going to be tabbed as the team to beat in Central because they've got the arms.
Well, absolutely. And again, they have the NL MVP. They have the offensive weapons that is, in my opinion, above the Dodgers, above Atlanta, or at this point in time. I still believe Milwaukee heading into this season has got to be the top dog in the National League.
I look at the teams right now that are going to be starting from the ground, from basically rebuilding. Florida. I think Cincinnati.
You mean Miami?
Or Miami.
There you
Cincinnati is already in that process.
Yeah.
And in the West, I think you've got the Giants,
alone.
Giants, we don't. Yeah,
the Giants.
You would have
and
to
Dodgers.
back off on the Giants
but the Giants,
saying, are they going to rebuild? They are moving pieces, but are they starting from the ground up? Are they fire selling? No. People are trying to.
Everybody's available.
Everyone's available, but will they move? Will they move a Madison Bumgarner? All indications right now are showing that they're not going to. It's just more of the social media outcry of going, hey, they're going to move them. They're going to move them. They're going to move them. Well, Giants, at least in the past couple of weeks, have said, well, let's temper back that. We're not really that we're looking, but we're not aggressively trying to get rid of Madison Bumgarner at this point. The Giants are a team that are kind of in that middle fringe of where I'm kind of at with Toronto of, are they going to do anything? Are they going to be aggressive? It's a team that is at the forefront of trying to pick up a Bryce Harper. They are not afraid to spend money. They are not afraid to pick up those big names like they did in last year's offseason that did not obviously pan for them, McCutchen, and also, too, getting Evan Longoria. They're not afraid to get those big names. At least they were also, too, in the Giancarlo Stanton sweepstakes as well before the Yankees swept them up last year. So the Giants, you don't know if they are going to rebuild. Probably best for them to rebuild at this point in time.
And I agree with you. And again, I think the Diamondbacks, Giants, and even the Padres, because the Padres unloaded, fire sailed a little bit at the trade deadline.
Padres have been rebuilding. It's almost a slow crawl for the Padres. Where
it's an every year thing.
Look at what they did in the offseason, where they courted a few big names, including Hosmer coming out there. It's a situation for the Padres that they're trying to win, they're trying to rebuild, but it's just a very slow crawl at this point in time.
Well,
could this be a season where you see the Giants might be down and out if they don't do anything? Arizona rebuilding, maybe the Padres could sneak up there in the NL West.
Well, right now, and it just tells me there are two teams in the West that look pretty good.
You still have to pause on the Colorado Rockies. So we'll see what happens.
And again, as the Dodgers head to Chandler and the Rockies will be heading out to Talking Stick, I think, and right now, as you watch Nolan Arenado, for example, he's watching all of this going on, and he's probably making the same assumptions that you and me are. Hey, obviously not going by what we say, but he's seeing the Diamondbacks are not going to be as competitive. Maybe the Giants are not going to be as competitive. We know the Padres aren't as competitive.
Okay, so
it's going to be a two-dog fight between them and the Dodgers.
Guess what? It
was
the same thing of what was last season. Guess what? That same Rockies team that bolstered that bullpen, or at least tried to make it something viable for a potential postseason, which they finally got to, or at least they did. This is the same situation what you saw last year. It was between Colorado and L.A. Giants, Dodgers, Padres, they gave the Rockies a fit, as they're going to do in divisional kind of rivalries at this point, but neither three were competitive. It was Rockies and Dodgers. Yet, if that's as easy as it was, and it's going to be this season, and all you got away with it if you're the Rockies, especially that potent offense, is a wild card? You tied for the NL West and then lost it on game 163.
And they did make a couple of iffy signings last year. And
if I'm Arenado, again, he's a guy, he's won enough Gold Gloves. He's a Silver Slugger. He's a phenomenal athlete. He's the face of the Rockies at this point, at least of this franchise. But at this point in time, you become one of these players, you become a Bryce Harper, and you kind of sit back and think and go, is this the place where I want my career to end? Where am I going to win a championship? Am I going to have those postseason opportunities with the Colorado Rockies?
Well, here's the opportunity for the Rockies to make some noise. Again, the key, too, is are they going to re-sign DJ LeMahieu? That is one of the keys to this equation. Again,
or does someone offer them a pretty sweet deal?
And the middle bullpen is just a disaster as far as I'm concerned. They're 7th, 8th inning guys. And again, Ottavino is also a free agent. Me, personally, let him go. He's too inconsistent for me. So
he was probably your bright spot of the
bullpen. And that doesn't say much. McGee, adios. Shaw, adios. I can go right down the list on some of these guys. But my point is, this is what I think Arenado's going to have to do, is going to have to play that wait-and-see game, what happens at the winter meetings. The Rockies usually are not big players at the winter meetings. Bridich doesn't do a hell of a lot. But we're going to see here when the free agents start coming out, like, I'm not going back to my team. and we're going to see if the Rockies are on anybody's radar. That's going to be the next couple of months, which remains to be seen before they head to talking.
You got to pump your brakes on the Rockies if they're going to be competitive in the NL West. Right now, they're
the number 2 team in the West as far as I'm concerned.
At this point in time. But, again, it all depends on what happens this offseason, which we still got plenty of time left, and the winter meetings as well, too. Do the Rockies make moves? Do the Rockies stand pat? Do the Rockies lose pieces, at least major pieces? All three scenarios absolutely can happen for this team, but we have to kind of sit back and wait. It's a situation where it could be 2 teams, could be 3 teams competing in the West, because, again, who knows what the Giants will do? Who knows what the Dodgers will do as well, too? They lost a lot of, at least, front office pieces. We'll see.
Right. All right, we need to take a timeout. We got to come back with our football picks, and then we've got the coaches show coming up at the 4 o'clock hour. We will take a timeout. We'll be back with more after these words of 1480 KRAE.
Your locally owned and operated radio stations, KYOI FM and 1480 KRAE AM, are just that, local, serving Cheyenne and Laramie County, where your advertising dollar stays local too. It doesn't end up in Colorado, Oklahoma, New Hampshire, or even New York. We conduct business here, we shop here, and we live here. And we support our entire community 24/7, 365. Just because it has a window dressing doesn't mean it isn't a facade. A reminder from KYOI and 1480 KRAE.
You can actually get something good for your health at a drive-through window. When you order your next prescription from Medicap Pharmacy, call ahead and use our drive-through window. Or you can call for free delivery. You can even log on to Medicap.com and order a prescription refill. Your Medicap pharmacist will call you to make arrangements for pickup or delivery.
Medicap Pharmacy will always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
Shopping for the golfer on your Christmas list is really easy when you stop into the Airport Golf Shop or the Prairie View Golf Shop. Right now, enjoy savings up to 50% off on selected items throughout, and remember, gift certificates are always available. Or talk with Mike and his staff about golf repair or re-gripping the clubs for next season's play. From golf balls, apparel to golf clubs and more, do your holiday shopping for the golfer today at the Airport Golf Shop at 4801 Central Avenue or the Prairie View Golf Shop at 3601 Windmill Road in Cheyenne.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be cloudy with highs around 20. Then for tonight, it'll be partly cloudy with lows around 13. On Friday, it'll be partly sunny with highs around 32. And on Friday night, it'll be partly cloudy with lows around 16.
Tired of lazy and predictable sports talk radio? We know you are. This is Cheyenne's new sports radio home. It's Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's right here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Steppenwolf here on 1480 KRAE. It is time for us to do our thing again. It's called our weekly picks. And we see, is there spreads on here? Yes, there are spreads, so let's go.
Except for one.
Yeah, I see the one that we don't have. So let's, what did we do last week?
You went 3-2, I went 4-1. I'm one game behind you at this point in time for our, at least heading into week 12 picks. Quick recap, as always, 5 games of my choosing of interest that we will choose against the spread. Sometimes if they don't have a spread, it's just a straight pick 'em. We post them online along with our standings, and if you want to play at home on the home version, go right ahead. I encourage you. Anyways, though, 5 games, what?
Nothing.
Yeah. Anyways, though, again, the listener interactivity that we try to do. Anyways, though, week 12 picks as we'll head into it. We do in at least NCAA football, NFL football. We may even venture into NBA, NHL ranks, but either way. So first game, as we'll quickly get into it. Saturday, this game, or at least these 2 games for this week 12 picks. We'll start with game number 1 on Saturday. It will be the Colgate Raiders, who are 10-1. This is out of FCS. We'll be at the North Dakota State Bison, who are undefeated once again at 12-0. This game will be played at the Fargo Dome in Fargo, North Dakota. 10 a.m. kickoff on ESPN. It is the FCS quarterfinals for the championship. coming up this Saturday. So I figure, why not? Craig Bull's former alma mater, or at least former team. Still at least cruising through the FCS ranks right now, as they'll have a good one coming up this Saturday. So this has no line, as most FCS games don't, so it is a straight pick 'em. No really factoid on this contest either. So
Colgate comes out of the Ivy League. That's about it.
Wrong. They're out of the Patriot League. You might want to do your research.
Okay.
Either way, though, for Colgate versus North Dakota State, yeah, sure, I'll go with the Bison of at home at the Fargo Dome. It's North Dakota State is that team. It is that school where at home they are a formidable outfit. They are, from what I saw, it's kind of on levels with Boise of just how fantastic they are at home. Even in the playoffs, it's a school, it's an entity, it's a team that knows how to win, even without a Craig Bull as your head coach anymore. They know how to get it done. They'll get it done.
Yeah, they haven't missed a beat since he's left, so they're a very good outfit.
Good to see that North Dakota, when he left, they're still winning, and we only get a 500 season here.
Yeah, well, and we got 2 bowl games out of him so far out of the 5 years.
Yeah,
of course, he's under the
one win and one loss.
Yeah, this set being in the Fargo Dome in North Dakota, you have to stand pat with North Dakota State to win this one. If this was, even if it was being played back east, I probably would still go with North Dakota State. They got a pretty solid offensive unit there, so I'm gonna go with the Bison as well.
So we'll agree on North Dakota State. And again, Colgate, you thought it was in the Ivy League? What are you, just an idiot?
It sounds like it's an Ivy League team. Colgate,
Brown, Harvard, Yale, and whoever else. Columbia. Not Colgate.
You know what?
Go look. Colgate is in the Patriot League.
No, I know they're in the Patriot League, but I
You want to put money on it? Put $20.
I'm not gonna-
How about that 60? Yeah, you want to put 60 up? I know it's in the Patriot League, but you can disagree. Anyways, though, we'll agree on that one. Game number 2 for our Week 12 picks. We will continue on Saturday. It will be the battle of the academies. It will be Navy, who is 3-9 on the season, will be taking on Army, who are 9-2. This game will be played at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 1 p.m. kickoff, and you can see this game on CBS, the only lone NCAA Division I game on this Saturday. Army, they are a 7-point favorite heading into this contest. So I went first. Go right ahead.
Hey, here's what I got. I've got Army, and of course you never met your grandfather. Pop Pro Eddie and me. That's a tradition when he was alive, and we'd always be cheering on the Army because he was Army for 30-some years. Here's the deal. Navy has been running into some problems over the last couple of years as far as putting out a good product.
Yeah.
Army, the Scarlet Knights have gotten better, and I like them. And I like them to win by 2 TDs in this one.
This is a game that, again, you can't really have, or at least look at records at this point in time, where, again, it is such a heated rivalry. These 2 academies trying to compete for the Commanders' Cup at this point. But what we've seen out of Army this season, of how they've kind of got those 9 wins, they've done it against very good opponents. And I give no disrespect to Army, as much as this is a neutral field, neutral site for this, at least for this contest. Yeah, I'll agree with Army as well. I think they take care of Navy. I think Army, of what they've done, they've had a high, potent offense throughout the season. I think they'll prove it here again against
And they
Navy.
don't even have to throw the football. They do a lot of running there with the Scarlet Knights. Here's the deal, too. The West Pointers, they took their lumps for, about a dozen years to Navy. Now they're giving it back. Last year they punished Navy, and I have a feeling this is going to be another brutal beating of the midshipmen coming up over in Philadelphia.
We'll see. So we'll both agree on game number 2, both going with Army in that contest. We'll move to Sunday for some NFL action. Game, at least number 3 on our Week 12 picks. We will choose between the Philadelphia Eagles, who are 6-6. They'll be at Dallas taking on the Cowboys, who are 7-5 at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. 2:25 kickoff on Fox on Sunday. Dallas, the Cowboys, 3.5-point favorite at home. With you going first, I'll go first on this contest here. For Philadelphia and Dallas, I really don't know what to make. Dallas with the impressive win against the New Orleans Saints at home. Hey, you can't disrespect that. They can at least, it's fluky.
They can play defense.
It was fluky, as again in those Thursday night games, you do get those every once in a while surprises. But Philadelphia does not. Nothing is special about them. There's nothing great about this team. They are far gone of the Super Bowl winning team that they were last season to they're just a complete train wreck. I think Dallas, especially with taking advantage of Washington falling off, at least, again, no longer good graces, missing one Alex Smith, I think this is Dallas's opportunity to get back on top of the NFC East. And here's that statement against the Philadelphia Eagles at home. Yeah, I'll take the Cowboys.
No. This is a must-win for the Eagles. Every game that this team steps on the field, the defending Super Bowl champions, is a must game. The Dallas Cowboys, I'm still not sold on them. Yeah, they beat New Orleans 13-10. 13 points, that's all they could put up against the Saints. Saints defense,
not a whole lot of teams have been able to do that against the Saints.
Defense, it does bend. It doesn't break a lot, but you can score on them. Philadelphia, I think Carson Wentz is starting to feel a little more comfortable back there. What's the kid they picked up from Detroit, Golden Tate? I think now he's got most of the playbook in his brain. I think he's going to be one of those deciding factors. Again, not sold on the Cowboys. If they win, then I'll take my lump.
If they win, they are your NFC East champions.
Yeah,
There's no doubt about
I don't think they're ready to be the NFC East champions. So I'm going to take those 3.5 points. I'm going to go with Philly.
All right, so we'll disagree on that one. You'll go with the Eagles. I'll go with the Cowboys, at least, and Arlington, Texas. Moving on to game number 4 of our Week 12 picks. Still on Sunday in the NFL, we will see the LA Rams, who are 11-1, at Chicago, the Bears, who are 8-4. This game will be played at Soldier Field in Chicago, Illinois. 6:20 kickoff, as it will be a primetime game on NBC. The LA Rams on the road are a 3-point favorite against the Chicago Bears.
The L.A. Rams have been living a charmed life, except the lone loss to the New Orleans Saints. But the Bears, the Bears have been even luckier, and they've also had the weaker of the schedule. They're going to play a top-notch team.
Yeah.
And we're going to see what the Bears are really made of. It's going to be cold in Chicago. Rams are a Southern California warm weather team, but
Chicago, they're anticipating.
Gurley's just. He's a beast. I
can't. For Gurley, you're gonna see opposing you of one Khalil Mack, who's been on a tear since he's joined the Bears at this point.
Yeah, but the Rams also boast an offensive line that very rarely.
Well, you can't disrespect the defensive line for the Chicago Bears and what they've been doing this season.
The Bears are good. They're not ready for prime time. Los Angeles Rams are ready to take the ball and go downfield with it. I'm going with the Rams.
Yeah, whatever. So between these two, as I mentioned with Khalil Mack, he's been on a complete tear. Probably favorite for Defensive Player of the Year. There's no doubt about it at this point in time. I think at home, primetime, Chicago.
Is Trubisky going to play, or is it Danielson again?
Indications is going to be Trubisky, at least from rumblings that I've been seeing.
Little ring rust too.
Yeah, but again, is it going to be a major factor? Maybe, possibly. You don't know. Again, Trubisky in his second season, he's been doing good things with this Bears team throughout at least right now. Again, they're 8-4. Can't disrespect that. At home, primetime, it's going to be cold. Giving all those factors, I say Chicago sneaks one on primetime. You always have these kind of Sunday night contests where you're not really expecting the lone team to at least get it done, kind of what you saw last week against the Chargers and Steelers. Chicago, there's some indication that just tells me that Chicago is going to be ready. Khalil Mack and that defensive unit are going to be ready for Todd Gurley. They're going to be ready to get aggressive against Jared Goff. So I go with the Bears.
The Bears for you, and I've got the Rams.
So moving on to game number 5, as we'll wrap up Week 12 picks, as you can find at least all this information on our website, 1480krae.com/picks. That's where all this will be posted. We'll move to game number 5 on Monday Night Football between the Minnesota Vikings, who are 6-5-1. We'll be at the Seattle Seahawks, 7-5 at CenturyLink Field in Seattle, Washington. 6:15 kickoff on ESPN. The Seahawks at home, 3-point favorite in this one. If Seattle wants to compete, obviously they cannot win the NFC West, as the Rams have already clinched that, but to get into a wild card spot, this is a must-win. Now, same could be said for playoff hopes for the Minnesota Vikings. They need to get this done on the road against Seattle. Doesn't really impress me. They're a whole-hearted team. It's a team that easily I anticipated should have gone 8-8. They still could. They still can at this point. But what we saw recently, Seattle, especially what they did against last week against the 49ers, I think that momentum carries on. Hey, you're still at home. You got to host this Minnesota Vikings team that is really kind of sputtered out there. Really nothing too special either. Yeah, I go with the Seahawks.
Seahawks have three of their last 4 games at Central League Field. And, the only game that they're on the road, we got the Niners in Santa Clara. Wow, that's going to be a tough one. The third best team in the NFC right now is Seattle, in my opinion.
Ugh, no.
Behind the Rams, behind the Saints, this is the third best team in the way they're playing football now.
I'd say Dallas is better than Seattle.
Then you go ahead and you live in that fantasy. By the way, this team here, the Seahawks, will be the number 5 seed. So whoever is number 4, watch out. You could be playing one and done against Seattle. I think this team is going to be one of the hottest teams heading into the playoffs again, having 3 out of their last 4 games at home. And Minnesota Vikings, you're just another notch on their belt. Adios.
I even got the Bears above the Seahawks.
I'm going with the Seahawks in this one.
Yeah, I'll go with Seattle as well. So, recapping really quickly as we are at the top of the hour right now for our Week 12 picks. Saturday's contest between Colgate and North Dakota. We'll go both with the Bison. Navy, Army. We'll both go with Army. Philadelphia and Dallas. On Sunday, I'll go Dallas, you go Philadelphia. L.A. versus Chicago. You go L.A., I go Chicago. And we both agree with the Seahawks defeating the Minnesota Vikings. So, again, all that information online, 1480KRAE.com/picks is where you can find it. Granted, all this week 12 picks almost will kind of be a farce, as next week we get into college bowl pick'em. Oh, and that's where you pretty much can get blown out of the water. So this whole 12 weeks, it's almost, again, it might be a complete joke for you.
Let's go.
Anyways, get to the top of the hour.
Yeah, go ahead. Hit the button, dude.
This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne. What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local, it's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
It is hour number 2 of Wyoming Sports Talk Today. LCCC Coaches Show coming up, as we will talk first with Brian Ortmeier, followed up by Jason Ficca on the other side of the hour. Let's get to our sponsors. We want to thank Taco John's of Cheyenne, Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service over on Highway 30, Chick-fil-A at the corner of Windmill and Del Range, directly across from Menards, with 2 convenient drive-thrus for you and serving up 3 squares 6 days a week. Kia of Cheyenne over on Nation Way, Platte Valley Bank ×2. Eastsiders, check them out right there at the corner of College and Pershing, the original location on Vandehigh. Medicap Pharmacy for all your pharmaceutical needs. Not their first rodeo. They've been doing this for a long time. Hey, convenient drive-thru for you over on Bluegrass Circle next door to Texas Roadhouse. Lennox Auto Body and the Auto Glass and Detail Center, which that can be found on Pershing Boulevard, the auto body repair shop with a plethora of bays over on Dunn Avenue. First Tier Bank, 1508 Stillwater Avenue, directly across the street, the best Paisan cuisine around. From Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D in the Greenway Commons. Mars Plumbing and Heating, 1515 Logan Avenue, and we get our program underway with Pepsi of Cheyenne as our scoreboard sponsor.
LCCC in action. Do want to remind folks coming up this weekend, starting tomorrow, as we'll be on the road in North Platte, Nebraska, seeing the North Platte Knights, as it will be men and women's action coming up. 4:30 is when women will tip off. 6:30 tentative schedule for the men tomorrow. So pregame here on 1480 KRAE will start at 4:10 on 1480 AM, 101.1 FM, 1480KRAE.com, and video live streaming as always on Periscope and the 1480 KRAE YouTube channel. On top of that, also 2 local action coming up this weekend, a 3-game series for the Cheyenne Stampede, as they'll be in Ogden, Utah. Utah taking on the Ogden Mustangs. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for the Cheyenne Stampede, a 3-game series for them. NHL action for tonight. The Red Wings of Detroit will be in Toronto taking on the Maple Leafs. Florida Panthers at BB&T Center hosting the Colorado Avalanche. Columbus Blue Jackets in Philadelphia taking on the Flyers. Pittsburgh Penguins will play host to the New York Islanders. Montreal Canadiens will travel to Ottawa to take on the Senators at Canadian Tire Center. Tampa Bay Lightning hosting the Boston Bruins. You will also, too, on top of that, see the Minnesota Wild in Calgary taking on the Flames in the desert. Arizona Coyotes hosting the Washington Capitals. Nashville Preds in Vancouver taking on the Canucks at Rogers Arena. On the Vegas Strip, Vegas Golden Knights playing host to the Chicago Blackhawks. And the New Jersey Devils traveling all the way out west to see the LA Kings at Staples Center. That's what's happening in NHL action for tonight.
Just a trio games on the NBA slate with the Knicks and the Celtics in the TD Garden, Suns and the Trailblazers in the Moda Center in Portland, Rockets and the Jazz in the Vivint Smart Home Arena in Salt Lake City. And it is Thursday Night Football from Nashville, Tennessee, where it will be the Tennessee Titans matching up against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Our scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
Hi, I'm Alex White, tea master at Pure Leaf. When I make tea, everything I know goes into it. You can't be impatient. When I craft Pure Leaf iced tea, I don't take shortcuts, because I want you to have the same amazing taste of iced tea that I do. So I start with fresh picked tea leaves. Then, after they're delicately dried, I blend and brew them at a lower temperature to draw out their unique aromas. And then I taste and fine-tune the blend for a delicious smooth iced tea. I'd love to have you take a sip right now, but that's one thing we can't do over the radio. But you can experience the same delicious taste of Pure Leaf iced tea anywhere you are. I'm Alex White, Pure Leaf Tea Master. Pure Leaf, our thing is tea.
Hello, this is Pastor Nathaniel Ensley with Blessed Hope Baptist Church in Burns, Wyoming, and I would like to invite you to listen to our weekly broadcast entitled Hope for Today, right here on 1480 KRAE, every Wednesday morning at 7 a.m. Our goal during each broadcast is to bring you a simple and short Bible truth that will be a help to you. Sure hope you can tune in. God bless you.
Shopping for the golfer on your Christmas list is really easy when you stop into the Airport Golf Shop or the Prairie View Golf Shop. Right now, enjoy savings up to 50% off on selected items throughout, and remember, gift certificates are always available. Or talk with Mike and his staff about golf repair or re-gripping the clubs for next season's play. From golf balls, apparel to golf clubs and more, do your holiday shopping for the golfer today at the Airport Golf Shop at 4801 Central Avenue or the Prairie View Golf Shop at 3601 Windmill Road in Cheyenne.
Here the season never ends. From Wyoming sports to the Broncos in Denver. From Rockies baseball to talking hoops with Nuggets basketball. Local, regional, and national. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, right here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Welcome back to Wyoming Sports Talk Today, LCCC Coaches Show, as we are glad to have both coaches in. Of course, if we leave the door unlocked, the first coach can get in here, no problems. Our program being brought to you by LCCC. We get a chance to talk with Brian Ortmeier. Thank you for bringing a player by. We're going to introduce our audience to one of the new freshmen that you have in. And matter of fact, I remember you showing me some video on her throughout as you were trying to get her to come to Cheyenne, and I'll tell you what, she's turned out to be a good little basketball player for you on your squad. Let's talk about what happened at Otero. And I thought about some of the things that we were going to get together as we talked with Brian Ortmeier. You know, the thing that kind of amazes me, when you are the tall kid, and this goes with both teams, not just our team. Mm-hmm. When you're the tall kid, you have that lack of ability, I guess, to jump. It's like you've been tall all your life in college and stuff, and you kind of reach over and lean over, and you take advantage of your height, and you don't leave the floor. Where your smaller kids, the 5'7", the 5'8", 5'9", ladies will go high for the rebound and whitewash or wipe down the board. I'm just wondering what happens there. How do you teach the tall kids to leave their feet.
Well, I can confirm this. We practiced that for about 20 minutes this morning, if not longer. We committed a pretty good chunk of our practice today to rebounding. One thing that was kind of interesting at the end of last year too, talking with Nick Robertson, who was kind of our strength coach at the college, at least for our program, worked with our team, kind of put together our workout programs for the week. One thing he looked at him in the off season, he was doing approach step jumps. So again, kind of a short step, long step, down, and then explode up. And he said about 90% of them had trouble with the footwork on an approach step. So again, it's something that some kids they have a knack for it. They just know how to time it. They know how to read the ball off the rim. They can see if it's short, long, coming off the front, high bounce, low bounce, all those types of things.
Well, and like I said,
they high point it well and time it well, and that's something that Kia does really well.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm not knocking our team. I've noticed that in all the games that we've covered, the taller ladies don't like to leave their feet going for the rebound. So let's talk about Otero. Me, it was a disappointing loss. I expected more, because the way you've been playing.
And I think on my side, and something that we discussed after this contest is it's kind of a similar situation what we experienced out of Trinidad with Trinidad State, where, in my opinion, and I think we all agree with this, it was the better team lost, at least on Tuesday night there in Otero. It was a situation where what we saw a lot was a lot of missed opportunities where Otero was kind of giving you opportunities, chances to at least get some points on the board, but we did not cash in. But also, too, it was a situation throughout that contest. We saw a lot of LCCC kind of shooting ourselves in the foot in that one.
Yeah, it was a tough one to go back and watch. I would say, again, it's, I went back and watched certain sections of that game on the bus ride home, just kind of scratching my head trying to figure out exactly to pinpoint what happened. And they were setting some little on big screens early in the game, which again gets you in a situation where if you do get screened and you don't help, it's a wide open they're getting good post position on the block, and we weren't helping at the guard position to help guard that. So something again that we'll learn from and we'll fix and change. We had a situation where we're up 6, we get a steal, we blow a 2-on-1 layup that would have put us up 8, and instead Otero I think scores twice to finish the quarter. So instead of us being up 8, we're up 2 after the first quarter. So again, it does go back to that. You have to capitalize when you have situations to extend your lead. I can look back at some close baskets we missed, some rebounds I thought we should have had that we just didn't close on because again we just didn't jump to go get it and they just outjumped us essentially. And there's things again. I talked to the girls after the game about one, getting into the gym and recommitting yourself to having more time in the gym, and secondly, if you don't learn from a loss like that, it doesn't do you any good. If you don't learn from it, you don't make the changes, and you come back out the next opportunity you have. So again, if we see that thing again at North Platte, we didn't learn from it. So again, it's learning from what you have to get better at. And I felt like again we got sloppy with the basketball, we missed some opportunities, and we needed to defend better. So it's just kind of a perfect storm.
Coach Hershey, who in her first season and most recently was in Dodge City, Kansas, I thought she did a couple of very important things for her program, and you and I had discussed this on the bus on the way back. She saw right away in the second quarter, you guys got an easy bucket, boom, called a timeout. Yeah. Then they got competitive.
Yep.
And during the timeout, she's letting them know how she felt about things. Third quarter, same way. You came out, scored an easy bucket. She immediately called a timeout, and then all of a sudden the game changed after that. I mean, you got to, and I'm sure you have done that too on the coaching side. What do you think she was telling her team real quick, in that huddle, which you would say as well?
Well, my guess is that's happened to them quite a bit this year. Just coming out of a timeout, talking about how we want to defend certain things, and then giving up that quick bucket. Again, it's something I've done in the past too. I remember out at McPherson College in Kansas, I had a team that would start slow, and it seemed like as soon as we took that first time out, we'd come out, we'd settle in, we'd start, we'd go on a nice run. So I would do the same thing. I actually did that once in a game. It was about our third, fourth game of the year. We went up and down the court once, twice. I burned a timeout, and I said, okay, we took our timeout. Now it's time to start playing. And sure enough, it would settle them into the game. It was kind of a strange thing with that team. But for whatever reason it was, we came out of the quarter, we would score. And again, they didn't make any corrections, any changes, and it's just like, again, it kind of threw us off our rhythm. So we've got to just do a better job of coming back out of those timeouts and executing.
Like last year, and Carly drew a lot of attention at the point. And obviously now Gabby, with the start that she's had, she's going to draw a lot of attention and pressure. So now you got both your guards getting that type of pressure, and again, you're being scouted just like you're scouting the other team as well. Where do you look for that next person to step up? Who's going to be that person when a Gabby is being double teamed? What have you? What are you going to be looking for?
Well, you know what? It's interesting too. We saw that they added that pressure to her coming out of right from the start, face guarding her in the first quarter, and we finished the first quarter with 18 points. So again, we were still putting pretty good points on the board, and then again just got sloppy in the second and third quarter. So we're going to have to continue to get creative with how we get her shots, and we're going to have to run her off of more screens and probably set more screens for her. But secondly, it's just, again, the other kids kind of recognizing, okay, they're going to come play her tight. It's going to create a lot more space for everybody else to attack the rim. So whether it's somebody like Kia or Haley, Courtney, Carly, Jessica, again, had a few better drives to the rim. Everybody else is just going to have to stay a little more aggressive. So, again, if they're going to give us more space to drive, we got to take advantage of it.
And on the defensive side, you got caught up by a lot of screens, especially – and again, give Coach Hershey her due because they spotted something in our defense, even though we were hanging man on man. They spotted it, and they were setting those screens, and next thing you know, they were getting easy buckets there. And that has to be frustrating on your side watching that.
Yeah, and that's something, again, I said after the game is just how easy it was for them to get position on the low block. And a lot of it, too, was just us, one, giving them the position, just letting us back in there too easy. Number two, it was, again, little on big screen, just not, one, getting enough pressure on the guard on the wing, so it made that pass tough. But number two, not giving enough help from the backside to bump that cut across the lane. So, it's something we talked about this morning. We took a good look at. And, again, you learn from it, make the correction. And again, we've got to see better execution with that.
And we look at least at that Otero game where they were very oversized, especially with O'Neal there at their center point for the Lady Rattlers. Interesting kind of question that was kind of brought to me, but I'll pass along to you, coaches. For practice, when you see something like that where you have that difficulty trying to how do you go about simulating that where, again, someone's going to be that oversized against you to try to adjust, try to figure out how to defend, try to shoot over an entity like that? How do you simulate that in a practice?
Something we've done in the past is we've brought in practice players, whether it be male practice players. And my first year here, we actually brought in practice players from the men's soccer team. So they were able to give us a good look in terms of speed and size. And, again, it's something that we'll probably try to do more in the second semester of the year. First semester, you're trying to get all of your players reps. You're trying to get some of your bench players reps. So if you're going to spend the majority of your practice with, practicing against men practice players, you're not getting as many reps for your others. So you kind of go back and forth on that. But knowing some of the size that we're going to see with some of these North opponents, it's something that we'll definitely have to explore. And again, for us to be able to do that, there's certain rules in terms of the NJCAA. They have to have a physical on file through the school. They have to be enrolled at our school as a student. So we couldn't just go roll out into the community and say, hey, we need 5 practice players. There's
You're
certain
7
requirements.
foot, come on down.
Yeah, exactly. And as nice as that would be to have kind of, players that had that availability in our community that could come in, they still have to fit certain guidelines to be able to come in and practice. And with our men's soccer team having a great season, especially they're right at the end making that run, we were kind of toying around hopefully with the idea of maybe bringing some of them in early in our season, and then sure enough, they made a great run. And, so again, it kind of pushed off that idea for us. So it's something that we'll probably look at hopefully in the second half.
Well, Brian Ortmeier, the head coach of the LCCC Lady Golden Eagles, join us here, and I know I got one more question before we go to break.
Yeah, I got one as well, too, as we'll kind of move away from Otero Junior College and kind of add them to the at least revenge tour coming up as we'll see them
next.
You
can take care of the last question then.
Oh, at least you're going to allude to at least coming up with North Platte. So that game coming up 4:30 tomorrow here on 1480 KRAE, as we will see the North Platte Lady Knights there in Nebraska. It's a contest at home. We took, at least your squad took care of very easily, about a 70-point victory here at the RAC. Is it a contest now heading in? Now you go to their place. They got that fresh in their memory again. Kind of got embarrassed here in Cheyenne. Is it a game that you have to kind of tiptoe around to, as your ladies are human, and again, they know, hey, this should be an easy contest once again, but you kind of, is it a situation where you sit them down and go, hey, we're still got to play basketball, our solid basketball. What we did was then, this is going to be now.
Yeah, it's, obviously, and it goes also to this point too. I've had a couple of them talk to me about Saturday's game too. Just again, the revenge factor there. But we do need to make sure that we focus on Friday first. And I would say they kind of helped us out by going and beating Air Force Prep by 2 points. So they're playing better basketball, which was kind of, again, to see that score was a little surprising, but. Their biggest thing is if you pressure them, you get them, they'll turn the ball over pretty easy. And then, again, they don't have a lot of size down low, so they're going to chuck a lot of outside shots. And looking at their last two games, I think they were 0 for 27, and they were like 2 for 32 from 3. So, again, there's some different things that we can do to really slow them down and frustrate them. But we've got to make a point of making sure we take care of business first on Friday, and then again, once that game's over, we can turn our attention to Saturday.
And Saturday afternoon will be at the Peter and Dolores Graff Event Center for the Lady Indians of McCook. Coach, thank you so much for joining us, and looking forward to being on the bus with you again tomorrow for that nice short drive to North Platte again.
It's like we just did it.
Yeah, we'll be back after this timeout. We're going to get a chance to talk to Jakia Wells after these words right here in 1480 KRAE.
There's a place where possibilities are boundless, where curiosity runs rampant, where exploration becomes opportunity. With Laramie County Community College, you can discover the best version of yourself. It's time to take on new challenges, to enrich your life, and to create the future you deserve. Your story unfolds. Laramie County Community College. Apply today. Visit lccc.wy.edu/yourstory.
The next time you have a craving for authentic Mexican cuisine, visit Guadalajara at 1745 Del Range Boulevard. Locally owned and operated, they serve their dishes with family tried and true recipes, with the freshest of ingredients, made to order. Start off your meal with their complimentary chips, salsa, and bean dip. And if you're feeling adventurous, enjoy your favorite margarita or cerveza. Guadalajara, where the spice is always nice.
Cheyenne's oldest coin dealer and supplier, the Coin Shop, is proud to serve the community since 1982. Trade or sell your gold, silver, and other precious metals. Visit with David and the knowledgeable staff for a fair and honest assessment of your valuables. Located at 510 West Lincoln Way. Call them today at 778-7196 to schedule your personal consultation.
Hey Cheyenne, here's a great bargain for all your rifle, pistol, and shotgun needs. Rocky Mountain Gun Trader, 2470 Delrange Boulevard, has a basement full of used items and overstock goods, including knives, holsters, ammo, cleaning, and other gun accessories at 20 to 50% off. Yes, 20 to 50% off. That's in addition to their outstanding array of new rifles, ammo, and other weapons. So check out Cheyenne's top gun store at the corner of Windmill and Delrange. Family-owned Rocky Mountain Gun Trader.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be cloudy with highs around 20. Then for tonight, it'll be partly cloudy with lows around 13. On Friday, it'll be partly sunny with highs around 32. And on Friday night, it'll be partly cloudy with lows around 16.
Got something to say? Then get it off your chest right now. Phone lines are open at 307-514-1071. Make your opinion count and call the show. Wyoming Sports Talk today.
Welcome back to Wyoming Sports Talk today. LCCC Coach Show Day. Now we get a chance to talk with one of the players from the Lady Golden Eagles, freshman, Jakia Wells, and from Mesquite, Texas.
She's not as bundled up as I figured she would be, as it's a pretty frigid day.
I'd say, have you noticed here in Cheyenne, Wyoming, that the weather's a lot different than it is in Mesquite?
Yeah, it's so windy here. Like, very windy.
I love on the basketball side and in the hockey side. They always notice the wind.
Absolutely. How big is Mesquite?
It's not very big. It's not very big. It's not as big as Dallas, but it's
It's a good sized town.
It's a good sized town.
Yeah.
You know, I have, and Coach Ortmeier will agree with me. I've talked about you quite a bit. I like the way you play basketball. Matter of fact, Coach showed me during the summer when he was, recruiting you, and showed me a lot of your game film. One of the things I've really liked since you've been with LCCC is that you are not afraid to battle with the tall timber, and and you are about what 5'8", 5'9",
Yeah,
and you're going up against 6-footers. Did you have a lot of that when you were in high school? Did you face a lot of ladies that were taller than you, and you just learned to go in there and outmuscle them?
Well, usually, in high school, I played a guard. Like, I was a point guard. I moved to point guard because of things that happened my senior year. So, usually smaller girls were going against me. So, coming here and having to play bigger girls, I mean, I'm a big girl already. And I know in my mind, like, I can play with this person, like I can defend this person. So, that I'm just taking on a role. So,
she's got the same. She's got the same mentality as Carly, as Gabby. Again, they're not afraid to get it.
No, she goes in there, mixes it up. I like it. Again, as you look at the season thus far, and you're 8-4, things going the way you were hoping, or are you expecting bigger and better things from this team?
No, I feel like once we start working together as a team more, we'll start creating more. But right now, we're winning. We're seeing what we can do and what we can't do. When we take a loss, we can learn from that. So, I mean, right now we're in a good spot, but no more losses.
There you go. I always like calling wins. Trust me. Yeah. Go ahead.
Focus on the key, at least here and now for you, Jakia. Currently at LCCC freshman year. What are you currently studying right now?
I'm studying criminal justice.
Is that something you're looking to kind of continue on through your college career?
Yeah, I actually want to be a sex crime detective, so yeah.
And kind of focusing on the future as well. Once you are done, obviously, could be possibly this season. Hopefully, we could retain you for your sophomore season here with LCCC. But what are kind of future plans holding for you? Are you looking to continue your basketball career in a Division I, Division II, maybe also II? Do you have aspirations to join maybe the WNBA at a point in time?
Really, I feel like I'm just living for the moment. So if I do get a chance to go somewhere bigger, then I will go somewhere bigger. And I have the mentality like I can do that. But I mean, obviously, basketball doesn't go on for forever. So, I mean, I'm just playing for now, and whatever happens in the future happens.
You got to respect that attitude.
Absolutely. Texas, a big marketplace, and, here comes Coach Brian Ortmeier from Cheyenne, Wyoming, down to chat with you and offer you an opportunity to play basketball and do your studies at LCCC. Tell us a little bit why LCCC.
Really, I just wanted to go somewhere else. Like, I didn't want to be in Texas. Like, I had a few interests from schools in Texas, but I wanted to see the world. And Coach, he made a great point to me. Like, most of the things, like, he wanted to build off of. So I wanted to be a part of that. So that's why I came here.
Now, let me ask you another question, too. Being so far away from home, do you get a little homesick from time to time? I know that with all of today's technology, you can do Skyping and FaceTime and everything else. But, I mean, do you get a little homesick?
I was homesick in the beginning, but now I'm really not. I FaceTime my mom a lot. She calls me talking about washing dishes when I come back home. Like, I like it here. I don't have to wash any dishes, clean anything. So
it's like I'm not in a real rush to get back home for this.
Well, and also, too, and I noticed when we got home the other night, it was about midnight when we got home, and our bus driver, Vince, dropped you off at the dorms. And again, usually the basketball players just kind of hang out with each other and do things. Have you had that opportunity to get out and meet the folks in your classes and all that? I mean, have you been able to establish new friendships here?
Really, I'm like a shy person, so like.
No, we're trying to bring you out of that shell.
No, I'm really I hang out with the basketball girls more than like meeting new people, because I don't really like meeting new people. But I mean, Yeah, I'm just in a small circle.
All right.
Just keep it tight knit. You got to respect that.
Just say hi to us once in a while, okay?
Okay.
I'll feel bad if you don't.
Of course.
He'll feel really bad.
Coach, do I always say nice things about her? Always do.
Thank
and you hear it on the replay. All right, Jakia, good luck to you tomorrow
Thank you.
as well as Saturday, and we'll see you on the bus as we make that long trip out
and not
to
just
North
this weekend.
Platte again.
Yeah, and not just this weekend. Throughout at least your time here at LCCC, again, at least providing very great minutes for this Lady Golden Eagles team throughout this season.
All righty, Jakia Wells join us here on 1480 KRAE. We're going to take a timeout. We'll come back. It's the men's time. Jason Ficca joining us here, head coach of the Golden Eagles. We're back after these words on 1480 KRAE.
Bad cough or the flu got you down? Dr. Howard Willis, with over 23 years of medical experience, is now your local physician for family health and primary care. Located at 1616 East 19th Street with Dr. Joseph Dobson, Dr. Willis offers that wise counsel to get you back on the road to good health. DOTs and walk-ins are always welcome. So next time a bad cold or flu grabs you, call Dr. Willis at 631-8430. That's 631-8430.
When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage, and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner.
At Platte Valley Bank, we understand that you have a busy life, and that means you don't always have time to come to the bank. That's why we offer user-friendly online and mobile banking with features such as bill pay, recurring transfers, and mobile deposit, so you can bank how you want when you want to. Whether you prefer to bank in person, over the phone, or online, Platte Valley Bank makes it easy to take care of your finances.
Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC.
You can count on Platte Valley Bank. Community banking for you.
Due to our stormy season this summer, Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service is offering you a hail of a deal on a wide variety of travel trailers, including toy haulers. Get up to an additional 50% off MSRP on Jolly Rogers' already low prices. Check out their new and used inventory. Damaged or not, you can still travel in style. Call Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service today, your exclusive Jayco dealer, at 634-8457. See them at 6102 U.S. Highway 30 or go to jollyrogersrv.com.
Cheyenne's oldest coin dealer and supplier, the Coin Shop, is proud to serve the community since 1982. Trade or sell your gold, silver, and other precious metals. Visit with David and the knowledgeable staff for a fair and honest assessment of your valuables. Located at 510 West Lincoln Way. Call them today at 778-7196 to schedule your personal consultation.
You bleed brown and gold? So do we. Wyoming Cowboys football and basketball is always front and center on the show. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's here on AM 1480, KRAE.
We are back on Wyoming Sports Talk Day, as it is Coach's Day for LCCC. From Brian Ortmeier, we now head to the Golden Eagles head coach, he being Jason Ficca, and the Golden Eagles having not so much the week off. This is a time to refine and get things put together before this road trip again tomorrow evening at North Platte, and then again late Saturday afternoon at McCook. Looking back, we also got to play the review game, and again, the Trinidad State Trojans, pretty good outfit. We'll give them their due. But there was some, when we talked on our postgame show, there were some positive things that happened with your club that, could have pushed them over the top in that one.
Yeah, I thought we had opportunities with open shots and some things, free throw situations that we worked our way into. That we left 12 points at least out there on the floor. I thought with good open looks and some missed 1-on-1s. But I thought we did a decent job of putting ourselves in the right position. We just didn't capitalize.
It seems also, too, looking back at that Trinidad State game and something that's kind of a recent contest, even go back to Northeastern when we saw them here in town. I would say also, too, kudos, or at least something that we've seen improved, and I think you would agree upon this, is bench play is kind of elevated, whether it is Hayden coming off the bench, Manzi coming off the bench, or either also, too, Mateo Zovko coming off the bench. They've added some good quality minutes, some good quality points as well, too, and some efforts in those contests of recent.
Yeah, Hayden Collier's really rebounded from what was a low point, I would say, day after Thanksgiving against snow, to playing pretty well. And Manzi's given us a double-double, I think, 2 of the last 3 games, if I remember right. And Mateo made a couple of jump shots. Mateo's he's our second leading scorer, I think, but it's mostly 2-pointers. And we really recruited him for his 3-point shooting prowess, and he's just not been knocking them down. But I think he made a couple in the last game, and I think we can get him right and get him a little more comfortable, and I think he'll start knocking it down for us.
What was the atmosphere like this week as you prepare for both the Indians as well as the Knights for tomorrow? Again, and what I mean by that, Coach, I know this is a step-by-step process for you and Coach Salisbury, building this team to get them to work together as one cohesive unit. But after the loss to Trinidad State, the guys come back to work, and are they more focused on, hey, Coach, what do we need to do to get better?
I mean, it was a good week of practice, I thought, and we spent a lot of time on offensive execution. We're in the midst of retooling offensively, and I think we're essentially in a new playbook. I literally made a playbook that you'll see now on the sideline, a 3-ring binder playbook, and it's new plays. So, if tomorrow we call a play and the other team acts like they know what it is, they don't, because we've never run it before. So we've literally rewritten the playbook this week. We started doing it last week, but didn't truly have the practice time to implement everything. But we basically have a brand new playbook, and we've added to our defensively. We added some things there. We've added some out of bounds plays. So that was by design. Looking at the schedule and seeing that we had this full week of practice, we were really targeting this as, okay, this is where we can really perfect some execution and get some things right. And I think we've done it. We'll see to what effect.
Some experimental offense that we'll see. Gotta like it. Too bad the folks over in Laramie, at least with the Wyoming Cowboy football team, we wish they had done the same thing.
When you watching game film, does that kind of, the light bulb goes off when you talk about doing a new playbook? Light bulb goes off, says, we could have done this, or I need to add that. I mean, is that what you're addressing in this new playbook? The things that you're seeing?
Yeah, just seeing some ineffectiveness, and we weren't moving very well, and then we went to set plays. They were very predictable. Basically what we've got now is a continuity motion with set plays off of it. So we can start, everything will start and look the same. We won't be tipping our hand by moving to a different alignment, which is what our set plays were in a different alignment than what our standard half-court offense was. So it was pretty easy to tell when we're moving into a set play, and then you gotta, and then everybody knows how to guard it. So now it'll be a little more disguised, and we can keep things moving continuously. We have better ball movement. I think we'll have better ball and person movement. We were too stagnant, too many guys standing at one time. I felt like it just never. The 5-out motion that we were trying to develop, I think that's an offense that's going to take more time. It's probably better suited to 4-year programs. I'm not sure at the 2-year level we have enough time. Certainly didn't have enough time with all new guys coming in to really get that down. It takes a lot of self-discipline, a lot of self-awareness, reading defenses to run a true motion offense where players make all the decisions on the floor. That takes time, and we probably bit off more than we could chew trying to get to that.
And obviously, Coach, you are judged by wins and losses at this point in time. Is it a situation where the average day fan who might be tuning in or at least kind of watching LCCC men's basketball, they might look at this as a kind of panic time? I mean, but in your eyes, though, and something we've discussed throughout this season, is a situation that this is all part of the plan. It's developing. This is kind of experimenting as during these few months until what the real focus is coming up in January, where, hey, now we're in Region 9 North, where it actually matters, at least in your eyes, for the LCCC men for a possible postseason berth.
Yeah, I feel like, I'd like to have the record reversed or be 11-0. That would be nice, but I still think we're going to be a good basketball team. I'm not. The current record doesn't dissuade me from believing that we're going to be a factor in January and February. And if I start to forget that, all I have to do is remember 2 years ago we started 0-5 and then won 23 of the next, or 21 of the, so something like the 23 of the next 29 games or something. Finished as regular season champion. So 4-7, we've come back from bigger holes than that before.
I like what you said here, coming up with a playbook, because to me, it doesn't show panic. It shows that you, as well as the young men on the floor, you can still be taught new tricks as well. Like, hey, some of the things that I have implemented, I can improve on it. And you and Coach Salisbury got together and said, hey, this is going to probably work better for our team. And again, you got a bunch of young men that you brought in, and I know they've been together for a while, but now's the time for them to start gelling, and it looks like they're going to gel under this new playbook.
Yeah, I think so. I the feedback from the players is positive about what we're doing now. But there's so many unknowns when you talk about. I'm not a guy who just runs the same thing year in and year out and year in and year out, and maybe I should. I don't know, but that seems boring to me. I got to keep my mind going. So you talk about putting in a new system of offense in the year where you have 2 returners and bring in 11, 12 new guys, and you're not sure how it's going to work and how it's going to fit. Half this team we never saw them play live before they got here, so you're flipping a coin, and does it work or does it fit? I know it works if you have the time and the right personnel, but you don't necessarily have a lot of time when guys get here, and you don't know if it's exact right fit here for your personnel.
As you mentioned something like that, again, situation of trying to figure out what's going to gel or work best for this team kind of going throughout this early part of the season, but is that a situation where what we've talked with Cheyenne Stampede, we've talked through many head coaches throughout at least the kind of recent weeks of the key theme has been team building. Is that something where you kind of look at of trying to create some sort of activity or some sort of way to get this team to familiarize with each other, or try to get them out and about in the community in some way to just kind of relax, meet one another, get friendly with one another? Is this kind of that moment where something like that is needed for this team?
It's a close-knit group. They get along well, and I don't, as far as them being together, what we talked about today, and we have a lot of nice guys, and we need some guys to step up and be a little mean to each other and hold each other accountable. It can't always be the coach being the one holding you accountable. If it's the coach is the only guy that holds anybody accountable, you're in trouble. Players have to hold each other accountable, and we talk. At the end of our huddles, we 1, 2, 3, family on 3, and I said, guys, we're not a family because we all are going to sit around and have Christmas dinner together. We're a family because we can offend each other. We can tell each other things that the other doesn't want to hear, and we move past it. And that to me is why we're a family. We have to be able to tell each other. Yes, a player doesn't want me to tell him, look, you're not a good shooter. Stop shooting. Well, no player wants to hear that. But because we're a family, you move past it. You get in a fight with your wife, you get past it. And, if it's a friend you get in a fight with, well, you don't talk to that friend for, a few weeks or something. Well, we're a family. We have to get past it. We can say things to each other that we don't want to hear, but are necessary to be said, and get past it. So we're really trying to work on that in practice. And Tyrese Potoma has really stepped up, and he's trying to be more vocal and tell guys things that they should be doing or shouldn't be doing. And they haven't kicked him out of the residence hall yet. Nobody's kicked him off the team. So it's okay. It's okay to hold each other accountable. You'll be forgiven.
I like that philosophy. It's kind of like our family. We're blood related. Yeah, that's why. Just shake your head. Just shake your head.
I don't really want to talk to him at all.
How many disagreements do you two have, and you still
hourly?
It's
Coach,
close.
Coach, a couple of contests this weekend. If I recall right, two different styles of play with the Knights as well as the Indians. The Indians are a little smaller. And the Knights still, if I remember, they still have the young man that's 7'1" on their squad. So again, is this one where they're going to try to, go down low? They're going to try to work on Applegren and Stephane, and also with Hayden being out there, and then of course you look at the McCook team, and they're running gunners.
Yeah, the two teams are vastly different. North Platte is a more methodical half-court offense team. We're going to play nothing but man-to-man defense. I doubt they will extend their defense beyond half-court, whereas McCook will throw everything at you defensively. They want to get you into a transition game. They want to play full-court defense and quick strike offense. So vastly different styles. Vastly different styles, and the North Platte's a good opponent. They're well coached, very disciplined. We have to be equally disciplined. We've been talking to our guys. They move very well. They move the ball well. They cut very well. They've always done that. In the past, we've used zone defense because zone defense against North Platte seems to stop their person movement. They don't cut as much. They still pass it well, but if you're trying to guard passing and cutting, that's hard. So we've gone to zone defense on them, and I'm pretty sure we'll play some zone tomorrow if we're having trouble guarding all their movement. So we'll switch the defenses a bunch tomorrow, and as long as we can rebound out of the zone, I think the zone could be effective because North Platte shoots 32% from the three. They're about like us. They're not a very good three-point shooting team.
All right, final thought here before we let you go, and we want to start pushing this because today is December 6th, and 3 weeks from today it's going to be happening. So let's let everybody know. Holiday basketball camp back again.
I bet you, I don't know. We've done this, I bet you, 9 or 10 years of the last 11. I think we've done it almost every year.
We need to grow this.
That have been here. It's a good time. We have all our players there, and of course, our guys aren't in school. The kids, it's a good time of the year. Get your kids out of the house. They've probably been already sitting around the house and
driving you nuts.
Driving you nuts, and played with every toy they already got, and probably already broken them or the batteries are already dead. So. Bring your kids down to the gym.
Have this as a little stocking stuffer for them.
No, I can't send Nick to that thing.
Can't send Nick. No, he doesn't. He's a little.
You need it.
Doesn't meet the facial hair criteria.
Wow.
Anyway, so a couple of particulars here, Coach, on what they can do and what's all involved here.
It goes 27, 20, 29, 9 a.m. to noon, 3 hours each day. Boys and girls, grades 1 through 9. I think we only went to grade 8 last year, but I know there was some ninth grader kids that wanted to come this year, so we extended the age a little bit. And we have a good time. Mostly our players run it. It's a lot of interaction with our players, and I do some instructing, but we leave this one mostly up to the players to interact with the kids.
And for more information, they can just go to LCCC.com.
Go LCCC.com or get on our website. You can click on. I think we have it up on our webpage. You can contact me at my office line, 778-1187, or email. So.
And we'll be pushing this during games as well as and when we have you back in here over the next couple of weeks as well. So we want to get a good turnout for this year's basketball camp. Coach, thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you on the bus tomorrow as we head out to North Platte. When we come back, we'll have a chance to chat with one of his players, a sophomore. Yes, a sophomore from LCCC. Back after these words right here on 1480 KRAE.
There's a place where possibilities are boundless, where curiosity runs rampant, where exploration becomes opportunity. With Laramie County Community College, you can discover the best version of yourself. It's time to take on new challenges, to enrich your life, and to create the future you deserve. Your story unfolds. Laramie County Community College. Apply today. Visit lccc.wy.edu/yourstory.
For 56 years, 1480 KRAE has been Cheyenne's home for good times and great oldies. Also with KYY-FM, we are Cheyenne and the area's only locally owned AM/FM combo radio stations. Add that to the addition of 3 FM radio translators to serve the area with programming from both KRAE and KYY, and that equals a lot of bang for your local advertising dollar. Radio, yesterday and today, still works. For more information, contact Don Morris at 307-637-0301.
Feliz Navidad.
It's a tradition that dates way, way back. I'm talking about Taco John's and the can't skip holiday tradition, better known as Nachos Navidad. Now you remember all those red and green tortilla chips, the incredible nacho cheese, the cool sour cream, and of course the amazing 100% American beef. When Santa asks what you want this year, tell him Nachos Navidad. Then tell him where to find it. Taco John's.
At Medicap Pharmacy, we concentrate on nothing but your medications and your health. Each location is a locally owned, full-service neighborhood pharmacy. We won't make you walk through aisles and aisles of stuff or wait in a long line. Instead, we'll always make time for you by listening, answering your questions, and explaining your prescriptions.
Medicap Pharmacy. We'll always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be cloudy with highs around 20. Then for tonight, it'll be partly cloudy with lows around 13. On Friday, it'll be partly sunny with highs around 32. And on Friday night, it'll be partly cloudy with lows around 16.
We're taking Cheyenne, Wyoming Sports Talk Radio to a whole new level. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
Don't look at me. I think these people are completely nuts.
Stop this crazy thing!
And it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
.6'8" sophomore Stephane Manzi joins us here on our final segment of our coaches show. And again, we've seen Stephane now for 2 seasons, and again, we're only just starting the second season. But one of your better games happened here against Trinidad, and of course, you've seen both the North and the South, so you know what to expect. But we welcome you first onto the program.
Thank you.
Kigali, yes. Rwanda.
Yes.
Wow,
Rwanda. And
you're like a long way from home.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit, and if I understand right from Nick, that you did some prep school in Idaho.
Yeah. Actually went to it's a high school, so I came in. I think it was in 2015, and I had my host family in Post Falls, Idaho, which I'm really thankful for, and I started as a junior and went to my senior year and played AU ball. And I had one of my coaches lives in Gulf Coast, Mississippi, I think, the Gulf Coast. And he hooked me up with Coach Dwayne. And then that's how I got in touch with LCCC.
Now, as we mentioned earlier when we had Jakia Wells in here, and family in Mesquite, Texas, obviously family in Rwanda.
Yeah.
You got all the technology in the world to keep in touch. So I would assume that you do the Skyping quite a bit. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I have to call my mom every weekend. Have to.
Do they get the opportunity now that we are streaming your games? Do they get an opportunity to watch?
Oh yeah.
Oh good. I'm glad that they get a chance to watch that. Okay. And now I can always say Kigali now because I always just said Rwanda. I was afraid to say the other one
because he's heard it from Collier's at least family on the New Zealand side.
Anyway, you being a sophomore, so your second year at LCCC, what are you studying?
I'm majoring in social sciences right now.
Social sciences, good. And now, Nick, I'm going to let you ask the question because you always know how to go to that next level.
That next level. Well, we'll kind of approach that next level for you, Stephane. Is that something you're looking to kind of carry on, at least once you are done with LCCC? Is that something you want to kind of continue on with?
With the school?
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah. I wanted to do business, but when I came to LCCC, I wasn't sure. That's why I took social sciences. So, like, kind of look at in other fields, see if there's another opportunity. But right now I'm like undecisive right now. Like I'm not sure, so that's why I'm taking.
We're heading on the road here this weekend, and correct me if I'm wrong. It's finals week coming up next week. So are you going to be grabbing a lot of stuff and taking it with you and doing some study? Because I know basketball, and I don't think people realize this, especially for the basketball athletes. We're on the road a lot. As opposed to football, where it's once a week, and we could be on the road 3 times during the week. Yeah. So you got a lot of studying you got to keep up with here this weekend, right?
Well, yeah, I have to bring my laptop and finish all my papers. And next week, I think I have like 3 finals and 2 papers due, something like that. So I have to start early.
Is it something, again, going from kind of playing in the high school ranks where similar but not as extreme as once you get into kind of collegiate level, but is it something here we are in your sophomore year at LCCC? You did it last year as a freshman. Is it still a struggle to kind of handle with all this, or have you at least second year kind of gotten adjusted to it?
No, I've I guess in my second year, I know what I'm expecting. Like I'm not panicking, so I've gotta have to take my laptop on the bus, type in when I have what we're on the way, and turn stuff in early.
You got it down pat at least in
the
sophomore year.
You and Hayden are the only returners from last year's team. Last year's team was kind of a fun bunch of guys.
It was.
I mean, I was with you guys a lot, and I saw what you guys were doing, before games and eating together and all that. Now you have all of these freshmen coming in. You guys are the older guys on the team by a whole year, but the thing is, how are you making those guys all feel welcomed? And hey, you've been there, you did it, you've done it. So how do you get these guys all to relax and hey, let's go out and have some fun?
You just have to be friendly. It's just another ball player. You just move up. You're not in high school no more. It's just college. So you just got to keep playing ball and just keep being friendly. And then if there's something that they're struggling with, you have to help them and show them the way, what to do, what not to do, and
take on that leadership role, but also to not overcomplicate things for them. So as we address again, sophomore, final year with LCCC, what are kind of goals after you're done here with LCCC? Are you looking to get into a Division I, Division II? Are you looking at schools in kind of the region, or is it, as we kind of learned from Jakia, she's just kind of hoping she lands wherever? I mean, what's kind of the future hold for you after you're done here?
Hopefully going to a Division I program and probably move on. Actually, I have to find what I have to study because I don't think I'm gonna keep going with social sciences. So that's something I have to put on my to-do list as well.
Do you have a favorite NBA team?
Yes.
Who would that be?
The Boston Celtics.
Boston Celtics. So you being 6'8", and again being a forward, power forward. Now you can even play center.
Yeah.
Do you look to the big guys as one of your favorite players, or is it like a Kyrie Irving at the Celtics?
No, I look at the forwards, like power forward, small forward, like you said, and not really into the center thing because I'm not as a big guy because I'm not back down guys, and I just have to rely on driving and using my length and finishing at the rim.
Like I said, he's got the build. He's in the same position like a Golden State Kevin Durant,
like a Draymond Green.
Well, no, I'm talking more KD.
KD. You could chuck the three, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, and we saw him do that against Trinidad State. Anyway, as coach was on, new playbook. Okay, and again, last year we had all of these guys.
Yeah.
Who can bomb from anywhere in the building? Zaire and Elijah and Talifero and Deshaun Weiss. It's a different look this year. So coach has this new playbook. Tell us a little bit what you are learning from it this week?
I mean, I have to do my job every night in. I mean, that's what my coaches are expecting from me. Just anything they ask me to do, like it's different jobs. Like as a sophomore, you have to be ready to do like anything they ask you. It's like, so if they ask you, hey, Stephane, I want you to go get rebounds today. So that's what I'm going to do. I want you to go lock this guy down. That's what I'm going to do. And then if he wants, Stephane, I want you to go score. And then, like, it's different every night. And I'm ready to take that role, like, as a sophomore. And about that playbook, I think it's we're changing a lot of stuff, like our offense. And then that should be able to help us. Yeah.
All right. Well, looking forward to seeing you again on the road trip. We'll be getting out of here early tomorrow, and good luck against North Platte on Friday night, and of course Saturday we'll do it again over at McCook. So thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Stephane Manzi joined us here on Wyoming Sports Talk today on our LCCC Coaches Show. I want to remind you, coming up our last night tonight, as we do Monday through Thursday, of our Golden Age of Radio Theater. We will have Sherlock Holmes ×2 from 8 until 9. 9 until 10, it will be our suspense theater. Gosh, I have a senior moment there. We have the best of the the best of the 50s and 60s coming up here after we sign off. This date in history, what's going on?
To quickly wrap up things, as again, this will be the final Wyoming Sports Talk today of the week. We'll go back, it is December 6th. We'll go back to the year 1992. This player set a record in the NFL. And I'll leave it up to you.
This player said it.
The jersey I'm wearing might help you out.
Well,
he played for that team.
Would that be one Jerry Rice setting a touchdown record?
There you go. San Francisco 49ers Jerry Rice catches an NFL record 101st touchdown on this day back in 1992.
On that, good.
All right.